Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique, and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. And I want to do that through consistency and discipline. So today we are here to do a weekly budget check-in, but it is for 2 weeks. It's for the week of 11/17 through 11/23, and then the week of 11/24 through 11/30. I did not do any recording the week of Thanksgiving because I went home to visit and have fun with family. So I do need to go through both of these weekly check-ins. I got paid today. Today is December the 1st. I'm not sure when I'm going to load this video, if it's going to be today or if it's going to be tomorrow. But anyway, I got paid today, so I'm starting over again on my variable expenses, and we will go ahead and get started. So first, let me pull out my pocket planner. I am both from a planning perspective, I'm a paper planner and a digital planner. From a budget perspective, I am strictly digital planner. So this will be moving. So here's my no spend for the month of November. I like to try and get 10 no spend days. I should have wrote that in. 10 no spend days. And these are the things that are exceptions. So if it's a medical expense, a bill, if I use sinking funds, or if I do anything for my business, those are not included. Everything else is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I got 11 no spend days. I am excited about that. I have not hit my 10-day no spend mark for a couple of months now. So this was really difficult. You could probably see, no, let me take that back. It wasn't really difficult, but the week of Thanksgiving, there was actually no days that I did not spend. So I'm glad I was able to actually buckle down a lot more after I got back. So this week alone, I had 3 no spend days, which was really good. So I was able to make it up at the beginning, or do a lot at the beginning of the month and towards the end of the month, and in the middle of the month, but that one is done. And if I get a chance, I will show you how I'll be tracking the no spend going forward. I'm not going to have that in here any longer. I have now finally moved it to my digital planner as well. I am going to zoom in just a little bit more so that you guys can see this as we go through. As I mentioned in my last video, excuse me, sorry. As I mentioned in the last video, I have moved to an iPad Mini 6 for my digital planning, and I think I've settled in on the DGPDesignsCo version of the 2024 planner. It's made by Checkin. And I have linked, I'm learning how to, and doing a better job. If I mention a YouTuber or if I mention an Etsy page, I provide that information down at the bottom in the description, so that if you guys want to take a look at Checkin's YouTube page, and then from there you can get to her website. I actually like her planner a lot, so I am doing better about that. And then any YouTubers that I mention as well, I try to link them now in the description also. So I'm learning. And then you guys might notice, now I am not, I don't have the nails and everything, but for my birthday, which was on Monday, the 27th, I did go and get an extreme mani-pedi. And the young lady there that did my nails, she put on a purple that I picked, but I didn't like it. So I took it off, but then I said I need to have something on my little fingers just to make sure I keep my manicure itself intact. I noticed that my nails do better and last longer and get stronger if I have some type of coating on it. So don't expect to see Monique in any nails themselves, but I did decide to put a little color on my fingers. Okay. All right, so let's get busy. I went ahead and reconciled all of the week of 11/17 through 11/23, what those expenses look like. I went ahead and wrapped all of that up, and I needed to because I needed to provide this information on my budget closeout that I did for the paycheck I received that I used for 11/17 through 11/30. So this part is already done. You'll probably notice here, and I do color coordinate. So the pink is dining, the red is spending, green is gas, yellow is home, and then anything where I spent money but I used either sinking funds for it, or if it was a medical expense, anything like that, I track it, but I leave it in white as far as the category is concerned. I don't highlight it because I'm using funds that I already have, or it's excluded from my no spend tracker. So that's why you see some of these in white and they are not highlighted at all. You'll also notice that I think this was the first week that I've gone from having personal spending and miscellaneous as separate categories, and they're all now combined and they just say spending. And that's in preparation for my 2024 digital planner. Both of the planners that I was looking at had less spots for variable expenses, so I was trying to figure out how I could make my information work within those planners so I didn't have to create anything separately. And the easiest way to do that was to combine those three categories, make them just spending overall, and by doing that it reduced the amount of categories that I need, and now what I have will fit, or how I track will fit into their financial sheets. And so that's why I decided to do it that way. So the week of 11/17 through 11/23, I budgeted only $60 for groceries because I was going out of town, and I spent $40. Gas, I only spent $53 out of the $100 that I allocated for that. $28 out of the $30 for home. So I was pretty much still, excuse me, on track with that. Way more in dining. I gave myself a little bit extra. Looks like I should have given myself a little extra more. So I was over on that. And over on spending, but because I did not spend everything I had in groceries and gas, I actually came in under budget by $12, which was really good. So I am proud of that. And then I have not reconciled the numbers for this past week, 11/24 through 11/30. So yeah, ain't they cute? Yes, Steelers fan through and through. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. You'll notice that there was spending on 11/24, 11/25, 11/26, and 11/27. That was that Monday, my birthday. And then after that, the 28th, 29th, and the 30th, no spend days. So let's go ahead and get this added up. First, groceries. We've got... I want to make sure you guys don't have a glare happening. Okay. Let's see. Groceries, 8, 11, 61, and 2 equals $82. That is an ugly 8. Let's bring that down a little bit. Okay, $82 there. Next is gas. So gas, I had 19 plus 19. That seems to be a running theme. Plus 19 plus 23 equals $80. Okay. Wow. Good job, Monique. Okay. Home, I gave myself $20 and I did not spend anything in home at all. Just put minuses by all of those. Dining, still a lot in dining. So 22, but not high amounts. 13, 9, 11. I think that's it, 68. Okay, not too bad. And then... so remember, this started 11/24. My weeks run from Friday to Thursday. So I was still in South Carolina Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 3 of these days I was still out of town. So that's why I still gave myself a little bit more for dining and a little bit more for gas than I typically do. All right, and then spend is 13 plus 12 plus 33 equals 58. So I was over for that. All right, so let's get the final numbers on those. Minus 82. So I am plus 18 for groceries. Gas is a wash. I have my full 20 from home. I didn't spend any of that. 80 minus 68 is 12. I'm plus 12. Plus 12 for dining, and then minus 18 for spending. All right, so this looks like 82 plus 80 plus 68 plus 58 equals 288 was how much I spent last week, and then plus 18, that should have been a plus, plus 20 plus 12 minus 18 equals 32. 32 under budget, and we reconcile that by saying 320 minus 288 equals 32. All right, so we are good on that. So I was $32 under budget as well there. I did go to the bank and pulled out, so I had 12, I don't know, let's see. So there was, and I may have had a little bit of extra cash in my variable expense account, but if you are, I'll scale out a little bit more. If you watch any of my previous videos, then you know that on the Thursday before I get paid, I go to my variable expense account and I pull out as much cash as I can out of that. And that should be the leftovers for the different variable expense weeks and those expenses. And I use this to help fund some of my savings challenges. Because I have started some new ones. I have a new family binder overall. So I should have had $12 left over from week 1. I should have had $32 left over from week 2. So I should have at least $44, and I actually think I have more than that. I think I have 70, which means I might have had a little extra in the account. Excuse me, sorry about that, you guys. I might have had a little extra in the account. So 20, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. So here's the money. So when my check hit today, I'm starting from scratch with my variable expense amounts. And then this money goes into my jar until tomorrow. I'll go and take out the money that I actually have allocated from this check towards savings challenges. I'll put it in here, and then I'll use that and this, my leftover from variable expenses, for my savings challenges when I get ready to create that video. And then I am still deciding what I am going to do as far as my variable expenses and how I want to track for December, because I am trying it out in my new digital planner for December so that I can work out as many kinks as I can before my year starts in January. So for December finances, I haven't yet. Okay, so this is one thing I can show you guys. So remember I said I'm moving my no spend to my digital planning book and not having it in my paper planner any longer. And so DGP or DGPDesignsCo actually has widgets for a lot of different finance things, and one of them is a no spend. So I spent a little bit of time, I copied that widget, put it over here on my monthly dashboard for my expenses, and went ahead and filled in all of the days based on the calendar days actually when they come in. That was something that was a little different than what I was keeping in my planner, because in the planner you just had 1 through 31. You had 1 through 31, and it just starts at Sunday and goes through 31, and so it doesn't actually align. So the first wasn't November 1st wasn't on Sunday. It doesn't track it that way. It just has 1 through 31. It's a standard stock template, and I was just printing it, and that did make it a little bit difficult when I was tracking, just because the dates didn't necessarily line up with the days for that particular month. But this way I can actually make it much more specific so that it covers the actual dates. So this is how I'm going to track my no spend days for December, and then hopefully going forward. And then I actually am just outlining, as I normally do, where my paychecks are, the bills that are due for that. So I'm set up December for that. But what I haven't figured out, also, what I do like about this digital planner too, I can set some of my intentions for the month. So for example, here, these are the 3 things that I am going to try and accomplish from a finance perspective in December. I want 10 no spend days. I want to cash flow all of my Christmas gifts. I am on track to do that. I've not had to swipe a credit card for anything other than the gift that I bought myself for my birthday, Christmas, and, you know, to celebrate breaking up with Sally Mae. And I'll talk about that in my debt update. But as far as gifts that I'm buying for other people, everything has been cash flowed, meaning I either saved up for it in a sinking fund, or I have reallocated money that I already had to be able to do this. So that is a big win for me. And then I want to be able to pay extra on Discover if I can. So those are my 3 intentions for the month. And my priorities is to pay my property insurance. It was due on the 4th of December. I've actually already paid that. I have a sinking fund set up for that, and I decided not to wait. I just went ahead and did it. So that one's checked off. And then I have a course trip payment for my daughter, and it's due on the 15th. So I have to make sure that I make that I account for that. So this is how I'll be tracking going forward. And what I don't know is where I'm going to track my, here you go. This is where it's going to be. So I don't know where I'm going to track my expenses just yet, but remember I mentioned to you earlier that using these finance sheets that are already built into a digital planner, you got to be a little bit more strategic about how you're going to document your expenses or your other things, just because they don't have as many rows as I typically have used on the expense tracker that I created, because of course I'm creating it based on what I do. So with that, by combining all of my spending together, that meant I only need 5 categories for every week. So I was actually in the space that's provided on this particular finance tracker or finance sheet. I was able to document both week 1 and week 2 in that spot or in that space, so that I can document what I'm going to budget or actual. So I'll be using this instead of the expense tracker that I just reviewed. So that's good. But I don't have a place to track my expenses. So I think did I come up with something else? No, that's blank. So I'm still working on how I'm going to actually track my expenses themselves. But yeah, I am trying to get everything consolidated. We'll see what it looks like when I do my next budget check-in. I am only going to do weekly check-ins now every other week. I enjoy being able to go through that just in a 2-week period. That'll reduce or make one less video that I have to worry about creating because I don't have to do this every week. I'm not going to do a weekly budget check-in now. I'm going to do a bi-weekly budget check-in. So when I get paid, my next check is when I will come back in the video and give you what I spent over the 2-week period, unless something drastic happens. But that is my intention going forward. All right, I think that is it. I'd like to thank everyone who's liked or commented, and especially who's subscribed to my channel. I truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I do understand, recognize, and appreciate the community as a whole. We may have different ways of getting to our final goal of being debt-free and creating some type of inheritance, but I love the idea that we have a community that just understands what you're going through, even if you're going through scenarios that are a little bit different. So anyone who's decided to take this journey with me, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you guys have a good one.